Hi Matt channel, welcome. Right, today I'm going to be experimenting a little bit with the collet because I'm so bored of what I call a gate collet. Just two bars, horizontal, parallel. You got the top bezel and then the under bezel, and they just sit there like that. And I've seen it millions of times. Just my entire career, just gate collet, gate collet, gate collet. Over the decades, you can see stuff that's like literally 70, 80 years old, and there it is, just the gate collet. I'm so bored of it. I think us jewelers, if you've got ability to hand make jewellery, why not try something new? Just come up with something, just tweak a design. It doesn't have to be a completely new invention. You can still, like what we're doing today, is still a 4-claw collet for a round stone. It's nothing mad, but I'm just going to do something different with it, give it a bit of design, just freshen it up, make it more interesting. So my motivation for doing the video today was I was about to sit down and just have a go at making it, because I've got some little bits here I'm pointing at that you can't quite see on the camera. I do experiments. I've got little things like getting ideas, trying to make things work, new ideas for future full instructional guides and just video ideas. Like I've got some little experimental collets here. So I was about to do that again. I thought, no, I'm going to make a video just going to show you what goes on in my mind, because I think it's good practice. If you've got a bit of time at the bench, you're not making something for a customer or something for your stock or something, just have a bit of fun with your skill. Just make stuff just for fun of it. Like you set yourself free worrying about the outcome or whether it's sellable or something. You've got to give yourself a bit of time to play, basically, is the best way to call it. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm having a bit of playtime and showing you what I'm up to. So we'll get into it after. So thank you to a new patron, two new patrons. We've got Jason Newton and Dylan Newsberg. Thank you very much, guys. Patrons make this channel possible, yeah? If you're new to me, basically I was a jeweler for 25 years, and I used to make expensive jewellery for wealthy clients and their super precious stones. So everything had to be made really perfectly and then finished really well, made strong, and just everything done really correctly to a high level. So I've been taught to a high level, and yeah, I basically started this channel to help share what I've been lucky enough to learn over the years, because usually, unless you're an employed jeweler for some like posh jewelers making expensive stuff, you'll never really get your hands on this kind of info. So it's my contribution to the trade to share the info. So that's what this channel's about. Yeah, and the patrons make it possible. So link in the description if you want to become patron yourself. You can learn a bit and support me and enable me to teach more of what I know. So cool, right, let's get into it. So I'll just pick these up, show you what I've done previously. See, why do collets have to be symmetrical when you look at them? They don't. Look at that. It's like a little shape I did there. Did actually mirror that, as what I was thinking when I made it. Mirrored that, but in a ring, most likely going to be that way. So it's just like a little swirly thing. So there's that one. This was same thing, really. So that's like the base of the collet, and then claws would be added after that. And then this one, I just thought, I'm just gonna, see, these are done yet. I'm not trying to make something nicely. I'm just going through, just making a physical reality, a little idea. So, see what I did there? Square wire, just swirled it around, swirled it around, swirled it around 4 times. And then not finished. Where's the join? Yeah, there. So it'll be soldered up there. And then I was planning on just putting it in a like collet punch, see what happens. I haven't done that yet, but anyway, that's the sort of thing I'm up to. So what I'm doing today, you've probably already seen it. I haven't seen it yet while I'm talking, but I would have made a thumbnail title with it. Yeah, basically like a gate collet, but rather than 2 parallel top and bottom, top one is going to go down like a V looking from the side. So I'm going to build out this bit of square wire. I'm going to try and knock that up. Even though it's playtime, you can still get good experience that's going to be beneficial when you're actually making jewellery. An example of that is always work to a stone. Don't just make something for the air. Always work to a stone, and a big stone will make it easier for you to do stuff. So I got these like 8mm, I think it's 8mm CZs, just got a whole bag of them, didn't cost much. So yeah, I use these for practicing. Like I've got all these rings and stuff I've made, but these are more like experimental ideas for future full instructional guides. So yeah, this square wire looks a bit twisted. Okay, I'm gonna hammer this flat and straight, and then we'll start doing something with it. Right, so playtime, remember, so if I do something and then I think, oh, maybe I wish the metal was a little bit deeper this way or that way, or I should have turned it a bit bigger or a bit smaller, I'll just start again, no problem. It's quite nice to work this with this nice relaxed attitude. My entire career under a lot of pressure to do things really high level and then correct first attempt. A lot of thinking and very careful work. Treading very carefully as you go through a job. It's nice to just throw all that to the wind and just make something. just for the fun of it. You might find subconsciously you do your most learning when you're just playing like this. Okay, turned it up slightly too big for the stone, but that might, since we're about to fold it up and play with it, it might be benefit. Just gonna get rid of my solder joint at least. Alright, so I've got this now. Just trying to think how to fold it up. I was initially thinking I could tap it into something, but so now it's in my hand. I think I'm going to have to cut it and just file a V into it and fold it up. Not ideal, because I don't really like the idea of a solder joint being on the side, but I can't think of how else to get it really sharp and nice without making it overly heavy and then bending it and then filing it back to a point. That's sort of more work and more wasteful. This is got a solder joint in it. If I can do this and make it work nicely, you've then got options to modify it in such a way to make it sort of thicker and deeper, so you can set it all, do a bit of pavé setting in it or whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna fold it up after filing a V inside. I'll go right down both sides. "90 degrees is a bit much." Should have gone down with a tri-square, not the square file. I should have thought ahead. I wouldn't have known that if I'd have thought of it. Anyway, I'm going to solder those up and then see if I can get away with sort of tapping it around again to fit a stone without destroying that V too much. Different grades of solder have different levels of ductility, I feel. I think hard solder, especially 1700 platinum, is more brittle than the other grades. So I joined it up with hard. I'm going to go to medium now. It might help me out a little bit with forcing it into different shapes. When you're repairing platinum jewellery, sometimes you've got to be careful soldering, because platinum solder is always like quite a high temperature. You've got to be careful around diamonds. Even easy platinum can damage a diamond. I've done it before. Luckily it's only a small one. So on a repair, you have to use 18 white to repair platinum, and actually 18 white is a better joint. It's less brittle. But yes, you can't do that on something new because it won't pass assay. So I've got 2 bits of solder on there at the same time. I don't usually do that. I like doing one at a time. It never seems to work out for me doing it this way. There you go. That's what happens. One just falls off while I concentrate on the other one. So I want claws either side of that, and I want that stone to go in there somehow. So that needs opening up. And first thing I'm going to try is just get one of these thin mandrels. Just push that in and try and hold it straight and central. We'll just slide that in there. So there's, it can be like phrased out as well. We can actually put a scoop in the metal to drop that stone down. Just thinking about it with actually dropping down like it would be if it was in a collet. So yeah, it needs to come down a lot more. And I quite like in that V actually. It's sort of bending nicely like a heart shape. To show you this, it's quite nice, isn't it? There's like a pair of knickers. So it's got a nice sort of curve to it. Unfortunately that side's split open. That's why it suddenly jumped up the stick. So I'll fold that back up carefully. I'll anneal it. I'll let that join reflood itself as well and make sure that's supple again. And do something else with it. But that is actually approaching what I might want it to be in a collet. Okay, so I've repaired that. Now looking at it, it's like a perfect little semicircle. I want it to go a little bit cone shaped, so my points are pointing down, holding it like that. I want them to come in a little bit So I can tap it in my collet punch, but at the same time not really, because it's not a flat top, so it's a bit difficult to do it effectively. So I'm going to try and do a lot of that coning just with my pliers. So I'm at the door. Just bend this one, and I'll go out to the door. Okay, I'm back, and I can't find that. I don't know where that went. So I've got a bit of wire. I'm just going to start again. Luckily, it won't even take me 10 minutes to get back to that stage. So I was going to quickly zing this up and do the same again. This is like barely 3 minutes work. What I'm going to do differently, like last one I did that square file, I'm going to do it with a tri-square now. I think it might be a bit better not to bend it so tight. So I'll just get to that stage now. So I filed this out with the tri-square, not the square file. It does actually look more folded up than I thought it was going to. So anyway, so I've done that, got to this stage again. See what I mean? What I was trying last time before I threw the other one across the room and lost it. See those points go down? I need them to go sort of down towards each other, towards the centre, because it's going to be a bit coney shape for the outside of the collet. So I've got to try and do that somehow. So I wanted to bend them, start it off with the pliers, and then I was going to put it in the collet punch, collet block, and see what we could do with it. Do I dare try that again? Yeah, I do. Let's see what we can do. So look at this now, it looks a bit oval, but looking at it this side, what I was trying to achieve was those points going down to the middle. Hasn't made a huge difference. Did put a flat on them and force them a little bit in. Obviously I can do more. Looks quite oval now. Totally, I'm very likely going to end up phrasing it out so that stone drops down into it a lot more. Learning what to do is always a bit of a faff. Like say I had to make like 4 or 5 of these. The first one's always going to be slow, and then you figure out what to do, what tools work, like the best way to go about it, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth one just go really fast. So I'm just going over it in my needle files. I'm thinking of finishing this one to a certain standard, and then making another one, but working a bit more carefully because I just rushed through this one. And then I might actually fully build a collet. We'll do it in the next video. This video is just this bezel, and yeah, then I'll just go ahead and complete. I'll start again basically, and then fully complete a 4-claw collet with it, so I can make another video. If you want to have a go yourself, I'll have all the information here on my channel. But yeah, I do like it. It's got potential. I want to see it fully cleaned up, and then I'm going to phrase it out as well, and then we'll drop this stone in, and then we can have a proper look at it. The ends of it, the stone should drop down more nicely. So there you go, without trying too hard to finish it perfectly, make it too accurate. One side's better than the other. I think the other side's better. Yeah, it's a bit neater looking at that side. I phrased it out just by holding it. Well, I think you just saw, putting that in there. The stone drops down nice and low into it now. This is it for this video, just doing that kind of bit of bezel design, but I'm going to do another one. I'll do another video trying to finish it nicely. So yeah, you've got the claws going down the side. I'm just thinking round normal claws, and then that V will just sit onto a normal kind of under bezel. So let's see how it goes. So there you go.